got Richard Alexander in the house. He's an attorney, local attorney here in Tampa Bay. Alexander Law. He's got a couple different specializations, personal injury law and also criminal defense. What are you seeing out there, Richard?
Correct. Actually, before the program began, we were talking about my kid's obsession right now with the movie National Treasure.
Yeah.
Because he's going to be 10, and he's convinced that not only can you steal the Declaration, because they did it in the movie, and but there is a map indeed in the back of the Declaration.
Yeah,
so he's hoping to be the one that finds the treasure.
Yeah, that's pretty funny though.
Yeah.
Kids, the imagination at that age is just amazing, isn't it?
I'm glad that he's taken such a fascination in American history.
Yeah,
because it seems to be one of those byproducts of we don't need to teach that anymore in the schools.
Yeah.
So I'm blessed that I can be able to since I majored in history and psychology and I teach history. I'm blessed that I can add to his just crazy 10-year-old curiosity.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's, going back to that age, it's like, man, the world is, you're still trying to learn all the different aspects of the world. And it's so important that the teaching is proper. We're not rewriting history. It seems like some of the liberals and some of the different parties want to, they want to rewrite things and change things. But, Jordan Peterson goes off on that on a lot of his YouTube videos. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but yeah. So let's jump into it. So personal injury law, first off, personal injury law, there's things that happens in that space where, there's areas that there's consumers confusion. So confusion amongst consumers. Where do you see that happening most?
We talked last time a little bit about personal injury protection, PIP, and that Florida is quote unquote a no-fault state, but it doesn't exactly mean that. It's a great misnomer. And what that means is, let's say you're at a stoplight and you get rear-ended by somebody. Yeah. And the person that rear-ended you is negligent as a matter of law. So they're negligent per se. And let's say you need some treatment. And you go to the emergency room, and let's say you run up a bill of approximately $2,000, and you're out for a month from work for about $3,000, and you have a $1,000 deductible. Now, PIP, everybody has to have PIP in the state of Florida. That is the law, which means that it doesn't matter whose fault it is. Okay, you must look to your PIP in order to satisfy some of the medical expenses or work expenses. Right. So let's just break this down. Math. We're just gonna do simple math on this, okay?
I like it.
So you have a $1,000 deductible. Okay. Okay. Now remember, you're not at fault in the accident. Right. You were at a stoplight. You have a $2,000 emergency room bill. Yes. Okay. You have a $3,000 work. That you didn't get $3,000 from work because you missed so much work. Correct. PIP will pay 80% of the $2,000 emergency room bill. So what does that come out to?
80% of that, $1,600? Correct.
PIP will pay 60% of the $33,000 that you missed from going to work. What does that come out to?
Was that $1,800?
Correct.
Hey, good on the math, bro.
So, yeah. So you
Good
have...
guess, right?
Now, remember, your damages are $5,000, correct?
Right.
$3,000 and $2,000. Yep. But what is your insurance company legally obligated to pay?
My insurance company?
$1,600 and $1,800.
16 and 18. Got it.
Okay. And what does that come out to?
$3,400.
Right, $3,400. But don't you have a $1,000 deductible?
Yep.
So take that off. So what is your insurance company obligated to? How are they obligated to make you whole?
Wow.
$2,400, but your damages are $5,000. So that's the upside down of PIP law in the state of Florida. Right. So you think to yourself, oh my God, am I screwed when it comes to personal injury protection? The answer is no. The state of Florida has addressed this issue. The problem is the definition, and I'm going to read the statute right here. If you have injuries in excess of PIP coverage, right, then you must look to the Florida statute, which is 637.737. Okay. And it says, well, if you're going to seek anything other than PIP, you have to have what they consider to be a personal injury or permanent injury. And it says significant or permanent loss of an important bodily function, permanent injury within a reasonable degree of medical probability other than scarring or disfigurement, significant or permanent scarring or disfigurement, or death. Wow. So that's how you, quote unquote, get around PIP law. Huh. You have to have one of those in order to go above PIP. Let's
Wow.
say you only had PIP. So now you have to look to the at-fault driver for bodily injury.
Wow. And so that statute was saying what? You got to be dismembered? You got to be, what else did it say?
Permanent scarring.
Permanent scarring.
Okay. That could be stitches.
Okay.
That could be long, some stitches are pretty significant. A permanent injury within a reasonable degree of medical probability. So that would be up to a doctor or a medical provider. The other one is significant or permanent loss of an important bodily function.
Wow.
Okay. So if you want to seek anything above PIP coverage, then you have to have one of those possibilities.
Right.
And the thing is, let's just say you only have PIP. So you must look now to the at-fault driver. Now, what if the at-fault driver was not insured or only had PIP as well? Now what?
Now you're in trouble.
Now you're in big trouble.
No money to get.
And that's why I tell people constantly, all the time, and I preach this every time I run into somebody, you better get coverage.
Got to make sure you have coverage.
Uninsured or underinsured motorists.
Got it.
Get the most you can afford, because this is exactly what it's made to do.
Right.
That if someone hits you and they're the at-fault driver, then you can look to your insurance company's coverage
Right.
in order to make you whole.
Yes. Okay.
And a lot of people don't have
Well, that's a good tip right there. First off, if you're don't have that policy, and I always say it's a good time of year, especially this fourth quarter of the year. Get a checkup on all of your policies, your life insurance policy, your insurance policy, your homeowner's policy. It's a great idea to go through that and then get a second opinion. We've got great experts here on the Consumer Quarterback Show that can give you a second opinion, because no matter how much you like that other person, they buy you coffee or meals once a year, you meet up and you have a nice conversation, they might be overlooking something. There could be some holes in your boat. You're rowing that boat down the stream and you're slowly sinking, but you don't know it yet.
That's a good analogy. I mean, the bottom line is this: will it add to your policy? Yeah, a little bit, but we're talking about a tremendous upside, as opposed to you're paying an extra couple of dollars a month.
Yeah.
Because this is what we have, about 21 million people in the state of Florida. I guarantee there's a significant number of them that either just have PIP or no coverage at all.
Wow. Yeah, that's true. Because it's so hard to police all of that, right?
Correct.
I mean, when they get their DMV, they don't have to show proof of insurance at that time, or do they?
I think only when you get your registration.
When you get your registration, right? So you got to show proof. But it could lapse.
Is not the law. You don't have to get.
You don't have to have.
It's an option.
Yeah, that's a big one. So personal injury law, Richard Alexander here, he's helping you with personal injury law, different types of scenarios relating to that, and also criminal defense. The other one, the other issues that, when you get that potential DUI check,
yes.
Do you blow into the gun or to the thing, or do you not? That's the whole scenario. We got about a minute left here.
Well, the one thing about the breath sample is this, it's directly tied back to your driver's license. And, I really can't tell people what to do on that.
Right.
And you have a choice. If you don't blow, the state of Florida will suspend your license for a minimum of 1 year. And if it's a second refusal, then it's a crime. The second refusal is actually a misdemeanor.
Wow.
And it's a slam dunk for the prosecutor.
Yeah.
They may lose the DUI, but they'll get you on the second refusal.
Yes.
And they'll get jail time on the second refusal.
Really?
So,
a misdemeanor.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's a misdemeanor. And, it's a choice. It's a choice you got to make. The most powerful piece of evidence for a prosecutor is the video and that 3-digit magic number.
Yes.
Which is the breath sample.
Right. Awesome. Good stuff. Richard Alexander, attorney at law here in Tampa Bay and a longtime friend of the Quarterback Show. Reach out to him on our website. All the contact information on our website, consumerqb.com.